Yo, what's good guys, I'm Fire here back from the video, and today we're going to be hopping into another College Football 26 ebook. Today we're going to be going over Oregon State's offensive playbook, which is definitely one of the best in College Football 26 so far. There are a lot of good playbooks in this, or formation in this playbook, and there is a ton for you guys to learn. As we did with the Bowling Green ebook, there is a version that is written that is available for purchase on my website. I will leave that was pinned in the comment section. Make sure you guys check out the way you can purchase the ebooks. It's a very good deal. It is going to be about like 8 pages. Worth it. It is a lot of plays, a lot of setups. It shows it in an Xbox version, it shows it in a PlayStation version, it shows every hot route in order that I do in the video, makes it super easy to follow along. And then also what it does is it shows every single coverage that each setup out of every play, out of every formation beats. So it is definitely worth it. Make sure you guys check out the new website, once again in the description and pinned in the comments section. So we're going over a lot of formations today. We're going to start out in the Bunch Ace Str Offset, which is just a traditional strong offset pretty much. And then we have the Bunch Str Nasty, we have the Bunch X Nasty, we have the Y off trips Nasty. Just a lot of different stuff here. So we're going to be going over Y off trio close, Y off trips Nasty, and then you also have like some other stuff that we're not even going to talk about, but I don't want the video to be 2 hours long, you know? So that is just the reason why. But we're going to start out in this Bunch Ace Str Offset. You're going to have your bunch on the wide side of the field. Now let's start out with our audibles here. What do we like out of this? Now we already have corner strike. We are going to replace inside zone with duo. I think it's a little bit better of a run. We're going to replace this with dagger, and then we are going to replace return PA flood with the actual flood play. So these are our audibles. We're going over 3 passing plays. Now the setups will be different than the Bowling Green ones, so they're not the exact same. Obviously some will carry over that are kind of my favorites, but these will be different, so keep that in mind. Now also you have the RPO alert screen, which is decent. We are going to start out in corner strike. Defensively, you guys kind of know the way we'll do it. We're trying to switch coverages as much as possible. Now we're going to be slightly on the left hash just to give our bunch a little bit more space on the right. You're usually going to have your bunch on the wide side of the field unless I state otherwise, depending on the setup. Now, a lot of good things to like out of this corner strike play. Nice little sharp corner route, nice running back route, quick little flat with the tight end. We're going to use all of those to our advantage. The first setup is going to be post RB, comeback X, drag A, and streak Y. You guys probably have seen this setup out of the other video, but we love this running back out of the backfield. He gets wide open, he gets a lot of space, and that's kind of who we're trying to hit. A lot of people will sleep on those running backs up the middle, forget about them with their user, and that's where you can take advantage. We create a nice little high-low on the left with the drag and the comeback, and then I forgot to put R1 on a post. And then that post should also be coming across late and can get open because the drag should pull down some of those zones. So once again, here's a look. I like the comeback. I think it just creates a little bit more space. And then right there, you can hit this post in that window. More times than not, he should just be able to catch that football. Show it one more time, and again I'm going to go at a decent pace here, which is why the written version is helpful, just to follow along, you guys, because we have so many setups, probably like 100 setups, so we're going to try and keep a good pace going here. We already spent a lot of time in the intro, so that's setup number 1. Setup number 2, we're going to come back X. We're going to go ahead and put B on a little speed out. We're going to zig RB. We are going to post A. It's going to look like this. Now just going to snap the ball. This is a solid little spacing concept here. It's going to open up the zig pretty well. It's a pretty solid quick man beater as well. So again, you're just going to post A, come back X, speed out B, zig RB. You could motion B out if you want a little bit more space over there. I wouldn't be mad at that. Now our running back gets stuck there. That'll happen, unfortunately, with some of those routes sometimes, just running through the middle. Let's say we face a man-to-man coverage look, which is kind of the most realistic thing. If we face man-to-man coverage, we have our tight end here that can get some separation. He's going to come up with that pass, and our tight end with Oregon State here is honestly pretty slow. And honestly, I think I might have 2 tight ends on the field. I want to double check and fix that. I do have 2 tight ends on the field. That's not what we want. So make sure you are not in that stock package because it's A strong. I think it's automatically 2 tight ends. So you do not want that. That's a good catch because we don't want those slow guys on the field. I was going to say, our tight end is number 88. Why is he playing that position? That is why. So, again, quick, easy setup. A lot to like. I like this zig route a lot, but if the zig doesn't open, that running back route will almost always be open as well, and it's going to be man. Setup number 3, we're going to drag X, streak RB, and post A. Very simple setup. We have kind of 2 underneath routes with the running back and the X wide receiver. We have the post that should be coming open, and then we have this corner out, which is, the corner out's going to open up the drag left, and then it's good man beater as well. So, it's pretty unfortunate. It may just have to do with the formation that I'm running defensively on why the running back keeps getting stuck. Let's try like spreading our D-line to see if it's going to help, just for video's sake. Yeah, now it's going to help a little bit. So you saw the tight end was probably more open there, but the drag gets really open. And it just kind of depends on what you're facing. Let's go to a Tampa 2 look. And this is, again, only like a few hot routes, so it's kind of an easier little setup there. He's just so wide open, so you really should have both drags open or the tight end. Either X or A/Y is going to be open, and then if it's man-to-man coverage, it's going to be kind of the same story. You're hoping R or B can get some separation here. I forgot to put X on his route, but this route should get some nice separation over there. Just quick man-beating route, especially if they shade over the top, it's going to get even more open. So setup number 4, we're going to drag X, streak RB, post A, and then we're going to streak Y. So basically kind of that first setup that we had, only the difference is we are just putting Y on a streak, or kind of similar to that setup we just ran actually, which Y on a streak instead. So this is just decent again to open up our running back here in that little window. You're looking for A, X, or Y in most cases. And again, B can get open if you notice them kind of playing underneath, or so again, here's a look. Boom, tight end there in the middle. The drag coming from the left side, it does a really good job of opening up the tight end coming from the bunch side. So that's definitely a setup that I'm a fan of. And you'll see a lot of these kind of similar combos, and then even here you can hit B over the top. We don't get an accurate throw because of my timing, but you guys can see he kind of got open there, and that was cover 2. Obviously, man coverage would work the same. So let's hop into setup number 5. What we're going to do here is drag B, post A, streak RB, flat Y, and then we're going to, this setup might be a little backwards. Sorry about that. And the good thing is I will fix all these setups that I mess up. So we're going to drag X, smart route B, post A, streak RB, flat Y. So here's a look. This is just going to be a deeper corner out. This is going to either open up the flat more against cover 3, or it's going to open up the corner out more against like a cover 2. Against man coverage, it can also be helpful to have a deeper corner out because he's going to get a little bit more separation than maybe forces you to not have to highball it. So here you see it's going to open up the running back more, and the corner out might have been coming open as well. So let me actually fix this in the ebook so I don't forget. So again, you're just going to do this. So again, kind of a similar look. B can get open if we could have got a good pass lead over there, but the flat is sitting open as well. Let's say they run Tampa 2. Tampa 2, we have our flat route wide open, we have our drag wide open, and then that corner out probably should be coming open as well. So decent setup there. Setup number 6, we're going to just straight up post RB and kind of quick snap the ball. So this gives us a nice high-low on the right, looking probably for the tight end, and then we have another high-low on the left between both the running back and the post, and then the running back and that little corner out on the left side. So giving yourself some good options here. There we can hit the post over the top. Those linebackers should not be athletic enough to jump. I would be a little bit careful if they do have a safety in that position, but I like this setup just because you can get to the line and you can snap it, hit my running back here. And especially if you have a good running back, athletic, fast running back, it's always good to get them in the open field. So love just quick snapping. If I can just hit my tight end there, I'm okay doing that. Obviously, you're hoping that he does catch the football. But just a solid quick snap over here on the left. Again, this guy's going to be more open on the sideline. The running back, the corner out, does a good job of both pulling some zones outside as well as pulling them up. Setup number 7, we're going to drag X, streak A, post RB, and flat Y. So a little bit of a similar setup to one we ran earlier. We're just basically flipping A and R1. This is if they kind of start to catch on. If R1's always the clear out, they're going to catch on to that tendency. And this is a good way to prevent that. So this now creates him as that post. He's going to come up with that catch, although maybe it's a little bit tight. If it's cover 2, that also gives you an option to potentially hit the tight end up the middle. Obviously, we want some speed from that player, right? But boom, can hit him. He's going to do some work. Drag obviously coming across open. So you're looking for drag post or corner route, flat route. Basically, you have 2 kind of high-low reads. You're going to throw to the high-low read that he is not using 90% of the time. Next setup, drag X, corner RB, streak A, block Y. So this is an interesting looking setup. Looks-wise, this one works not as good as it did last year, but it still honestly can work. Cover 3 is where it kind of sucks. I think it's a little bit better against cover 2. So let's run it against cover 2. So here's a look again. If it is against cover 2, then you can kind of roll out and hit this guy over the... Oh, maybe not. Maybe you want to hit R1. Actually, it's honestly probably better against man. I don't love this setup anymore. I probably should have honestly taken it out. Let's try it against like press cover 2. That's where it's a little bit better. You can hit him over the top. Maybe I didn't have to highball there. I think it's a little bit good against cover 4 as well, if I remember correctly. So that's man-to-man coverage. You can kind of fit him over the top. R1 should be coming across open as well. Or, yeah. So again, that was drag X, I guess streak A, corner RB, block Y. Okay, so next setup is going to be flat Y, drag A, streak RB, smart out B. Here's a look. Again, decent setup. We're really trying to open up. We have, again, 2 high-low reads, flat corner route or drag corner route. So just looking to hit our underneath routes here. And then B can sometimes get open on that sideline there. Now the thirds play it a lot better than they used to. It's a little bit unfortunate. And honestly, with the thirds, I think they're a little bit worse from the short side. So if we're trying to attack cover 3 with corner routes, I think it's a little bit better to run it from the short side of the field. I guess we will find out, right? Yeah, because you can kind of like, the third doesn't have enough time to bite over, and then the streak is also closer to it because it's on that side of the field. So if you are playing someone that's using strictly cover 3 and you want to try and use these setups, it's probably better to actually run your bunch on the short side of the football field. You still see the running back is open there. So really both of them are open. That curl flat we kind of put in no man's land. It would basically be the same for cover 2, but let's respot the ball and hop into our last play. Again, going at a quick pace, but if you guys have the written version, you're able to follow along just a little bit easier than those without. Last setup is going to be motioning over R1. So let's motion him over. We're going to put him on a drag. We are going to drag our tight end. We are going to put X on, I believe, what are we going to do? X on a little out route, B on a post, and then we're going to wheel. Oh no, we're going to put X on a post, B on an out route, wheel Y. So it's going to look like this. Let's fix that. So we're going to pose. Oh no, you're speed out. B. Okay. So here's the look. 2 drags, backside post. We'll go back to some of those backside posts a little bit later in the video, and then we have kind of the wheel out route combo, which is always usually pretty good. Right there, you can fit it in. A little bit of a tighter throw. We will go back to these wheel routes as well, but let's run this baby just one more time. So here's a look. Now that's a little bit of a hospital pass. Probably should have thrown my drag, but that's probably more open against cover 2 than it is against cover 3. But let's hop into our next play. Let's try and keep this pace going. Bunch Ace Str Offset will probably be the most setups and plays, and then it'll kind of get slower as we move into some of those other formations, but this is kind of your bread and butter. So let's go into a flood. Now, what's good about flood is obviously this fade route on the right. We can use that. And then we have some other options, deep corner out with the tight end. But let's come back X, let's post RB. We're gonna custom stem by pressing L1, and then we're gonna hold it and go up 1, up 2. That's gonna move him up 2. Sometimes in practice mode, it doesn't update live. I don't know why, but I did move him up twice, and then we're gonna drag A. So it's gonna look like this. We're trying to open up R1 against a cover 3 defense here. And if we get enough time, we can open him up in that window. Now, maybe I custom stemmed him up a little bit, one too many times. It's hard to tell because it doesn't freaking update. But it should look like that, right? Come back X, drag A, or come back square, drag X. So that wasn't a good throw, but oh crap. I accidentally snapped the ball when I was trying to hot route. I'll show it one more time here. Let's drag A, come back X. Let's post RB, make sure that it updates, and then see if we can custom stem to. I don't know why it's struggling, but whatever. So this is good against cover 3. You're not really gonna run it much against cover 2. Bad throw there, but again, you saw on that first play, he is open, and it does work decently well. Now, setup number 2, we're gonna corner RB. We're going to post A and just drag X. Pretty simple looking setup. Looking to open up R1. He's going to be a lot better than the corner strike one because against cover 3, because we have that fade that's peeling to the outside, which means that outside third is not going to commit as much as he does. So now we get this opening and we can actually hit him over there. Against the wide side, it's going to likely be even better against the short side. But love this setup. Just simple bread and butter. 6-man protection. Now, another inaccurate throw, but you can see that the spaces are there. Let's go to a Tampa 2. And so there you can see he's open once again. Cover 2, cover 3. Cover 4, you may get matched on. Probably wouldn't work as good against that, but your post or drag should be open against that. And honestly, the corner out could still actually get open, but boom, hit this tight end over the top. Maybe you want to highball that if it's a little bit too close, but we do catch it there. And if it's man-to-man coverage, it's probably not the greatest play. I don't think I have this as a man-to-man coverage beater, but depending on your releases, this route can get open deep. We sail it, but he should be open at least a little bit, depending on the route running you have. Anyways, next setup is corner RB, post A, drag X, flat Y. The exact same thing. We just add a flat route. This adds another fold to your corner out combo over there on the right-hand side. So it's going to open it up a little bit. You can also just hit him. Like if your routes are, for whatever reason, getting bumped down the field, they were in that play, just hit the flat. So you should have either drag post or corner flat combo. So over here, I would definitely just hit my running back and you can pick up your 6 yards. I would just do that every time if he's open, force him to play underneath, and then you can start attacking deep down the field. Let's show it one more time. Boom, wait on it, and this post route gets wide open. Setup number 4, we're just gonna run a very simple setup. All we're gonna do is drag X and snap the ball. So you have this stock flat route, and then you're going to get a little bit of a slower developing route with the tight end. I don't know why he got matched on by the hook curl. That doesn't make the most sense to me. He really shouldn't. I guess you want to wait on it a little bit, but he should be coming across open. Now, this guy does not have great route running, so it's going to take him a long time to get down the field. Hopefully your tight end is a little bit quicker than mine. Let's go Tampa 2. And again, look at the flat route. He's wide open, but if you do get enough time, he's going to be coming across open. This is a good play to run on like a 3rd and 17 type situation. But again, I don't hate hitting him over there. That was even a tight throw, but against cover 2, you would probably have a little bit more separation. Not a great man beater. I would only really run it against cover 2 or 3. Now, if we do want a good man beater, all we're going to do is just corner A and snap the ball. We have the post, we have the fade that can get open against press man-to-man coverage, and then our corner out should hopefully get open. So boom, look at the separation we get with that tight end. On that quicker breaking corner out, he's good against zone on that stock one, but you hot route him, and then he's on a little bit of a better man-beating one. So again, also just a good quick snap setup. I would only run this setup if you're facing man coverage, not a good zone beating play. Even with R1, you get a little pick play over there sometimes if they're pressed. I run this just to kind of quick hike them, but if you were really trying to do even better against man, maybe you throw him on like a backside slant if it is like cover 0. Or you could just speed out him, maybe he gets a better release, but sometimes with that, he gets pushed up the field and the spacing becomes a little bit worse. Although that's not a terrible zone beater. I accidentally ran that against cover 3, but good setup. Last setup for this is post A. We're going to flat Y. We're going to choice R1. And then what we're going to do is we are going to, sorry, I'm going to update that to say choice RB. And then we're going to just put X on a little fade over here. And then pretty much what we're going to do is motion this slot player on the choice over. And then we're going to curl B. So good little spacing concept. We have choice to post, and then we have flat to curl. So take your pick here. He's wide open. I'm going to throw it to him every time. A lot of times the user, even with the motion, is going to be still kind of focused on the bunch, especially when they see the flat run out there. And then they see B kind of on some weird little route. And then even if they focus on the post, the choice is going to be open. You can't user them both. So you can motion them over and then choice. It doesn't really matter, right? So let's say that's covered, then boom. Okay, well, we got deflected, but the curl gets wide open because that hook curl or vert hook is going to follow the post route. So that is why we love this for spacing. Now, this would not be a good man coverage setup. Do not run this against man coverage. You may want to, but do not. Boom, just like so. This is against cover 2, by the way. And you see, now we get this post route open. And again, one of those vert hooks will probably be his user. So again, you usually just have one guy open spacing wise. Against man, again, we'll stay away. So let's get into our last setup for flood. And what we're gonna do is, actually, never mind. We're done with flood. Let's go into dagger. So dagger is going to be on this right-hand side here. Again, same dagger as the normal Bunch Str Offset, but what we're going to do with dagger here is we have a few different setups. First one's going to be something you guys have seen before if you watch my videos, just deep cross R1. Simple, but yet effective. Bread and butter, my favorite, just simple play to run because it's so good, quick snapped. It is just so unbelievably difficult to stop, and because of the way we've ran our bunch, we've always had stuff going to the right side. Now we have a play where we have things going to the left. He's probably setting up his defense for these corner routes and these flats with the running back and these drags coming from left to right and all those things. And now all of a sudden, boom, you snap the ball and he is absolutely not ready for it. So you can usually just catch him off guard, and if you do, it is a big mistake and usually comes in the form of 30 plus yards. The tight end route, it's mid. It's better against certain coverages. You'll see, I think it's probably better against cover 2 than it is cover 3. Sometimes it acts as a delay fade. I feel like it was a lot better last year if we're going to keep it real, but you can kind of catch him up the field there if you want. Otherwise, he's decent for spacing and kind of pushing those zones immediately to the other side. Man-to-man coverage, obviously probably not your greatest option, but you have Walker. Pending he gets a good release, he can burn some people deep. If you have a takeoff player, I would love him in that spot because he does get a good release here, and we get an awful rat catch animation, but we do burn him deep. So that is setup number 1. Setup number 2, we're going to just run the same thing, but we're just going to flat this running back, just give ourselves another option, and if he even hesitates for a second on that running back route, this crosser is going to be undefensible for his user. So that's kind of our objective in throwing that flat out there, although it doesn't do much. But if he's sending pressure, of course, I would just protect him. You do have this drag. You can see how it is a little bit worse later. You want to throw it kind of earlier on because those zones are pulled up due to the deep cross and that little tight end route. So if you are going to hit the drag, you kind of want to just hit it here. If you're like, okay, I see a cloud flat 25 yards up the field, my crosser is not getting open, then that is your situation to do so. Also, with this little running back route, you could hit him out here and still get a little bit of yardage. You're going to get blessed with those animations of falling forward a lot of the time. Take advantage. Next setup, deep cross RB. We're going to block A. We're just going to put Y on a wheel route. This is a heavy, good man coverage beater, but it should also do decent against zone. And what I mean by that is you can kind of still hit him in this window. I probably threw that just a second late. And it still got open. This play is solid against man coverage because you have 3 man beaters this wheel, especially with a high-speed running back. If he's running cover 0 with no deep half or blue zone on that right side of the field, if you can get enough time, like let's blitz here. Let's see if we can get it open. X probably is going to be open on the release as well. But if we get enough time, you should have enough speed to a lot of times burn the linebacker that's going to be manned up on you. But if we stick to these against a zone, let's go back to our Tampa 2 here. Then you can usually just hit this guy here. I would always possession catch that. You don't want to take a big hit, not with your running back, not with the wear and tear in this game. But overall, solid setup. I didn't show it, but you still have the cross that's going to be wide open. You still have the drag that's always going to be wide open as well. Setup number 4, we're going to drag X. We're going to put B on a speed out here. What we're going to then do is we're going to post A and wheel Y. So it's going to look like this. Let's type this out. So it's going to look like this. Kind of similar to some of the corner strike setups, right? Albeit maybe we had a flat on Y and a corner on B. A little bit different though now. Now you can also motion B out if you want a little bit better spacing, but this wheel should still get open there without it. And it's just if you want it a little bit more open off the bat, but obviously does not make the biggest of differences. So it's going to look like so. And honestly, let's reset this. He's already on the streak stock. Okay. I was a little bit confused for a moment, but not a bad quick snap setup either. Just drag X, wheel Y, speed out B, post A. Never mind, it isn't a great quick snap setup, but the wheel does really good at pulling up those zones, and it opens up the drag even more. You have the speed out that's pulling everything to the right, and then you have the post over the top, so money. Last setup, we're going to speed out B, and this is a good red zone setup. I'm always used to just putting like flats, but we don't have those anymore in this game. But speed out B, zig RB, drag A, Texas Y. You still have the clear out. Very good red zone spacing play. Good like 4th and 1 play because you should have one of those guys be open, but be careful because you don't want to take a sack. I'll show it just one more time here. Let's run man-to-man coverage because this would be good against that. Again, you still have your takeoff deep as well, but boom, tight end. I can just hit him over there. Should catch it. And he should pick up our yards. If it's cover 0, the angle route could get open deep as well. So now we got some of the run plays. Let's run this duo. I like this duo a lot. That was some of the worst run stick you'll ever watch on YouTube. But duo is just solid because your blocks will develop. If he's coming out in any nickel or any dime set where you got the advantage of the line of scrimmage because he doesn't have heavy linebackers or whatever the case may be. He has 6 DBs on the field. Take advantage. Use it. Use it or lose it. Very solid run. I don't run this probably as much as I should, but it is usually at least good for 5 yards in the worst case scenario. Now, I have a few other runs. Let's get into those quickly. Again, you guys know I don't run the ball all that often, but it doesn't hurt. Let's run this RPO alert screen. Let's run this crack toss or pin pull toss. And then we have our read option. So, starting out with our read option here, pretty self-explanatory. That was an awful keep, but you can get some good yards because you have everybody on the right side and the quarterback would be going to that side. You can get some good yards, and even here we get some nice up the middle. Try and slide if you're able to avoid the wear and tear, but overall just decent. That's what the handoff should look like. Pretty basic play, right? Some people like read option better than duo. Run what you like. Pin pull toss. This is a good play if they're like heavy pinched, heavy pressed. Maybe you have numbers on that right side. High risk, high reward. I lose yards a lot of times running this play, but sometimes you could pick up 20 yards. It's there, right? It's an option. Then you have this RPO alert screen. This works some of the time. It's really not great, to be completely honest. It depends on the coverage that you're facing. If they're pressed, I wouldn't run this, but if they are backed off for whatever reason, maybe you get an option to run this a little bit better. But you just have nobody really over there, so you're kind of setting yourself in a one-on-one. Maybe it's a little bit better in the red zone. Maybe those players, if he has certain coach adjustments, play a little bit more aggressive. It just depends, but that's going to do it for the bunch. Let's hop into our next formation, which will be the Bunch Str Nasty. All right, now here we got the Bunch Str Nasty, which is going to be, again, another bunch set. Now we have more setups for the Bunch Str Nasty than we do the Bunch X Nasty. The Bunch Str Nasty is definitely going to be a solid play that we want to take advantage of here. Now, Bunch Str Nasty was good last year. Very tight formation, but a lot of good plays. I like the mesh flat spot. I like the... what else do I like? I like the, where is it? Wide trail on the left there, and you have dagger, which basically the same as the dagger we just ran. I don't really talk about that, but you could really run any dagger setups out of the bunch we just talked about in this bunch. If I just put RB on a crosser, this play would work. Besides the point. And where's our PA bunch shot? PA bunch shot on the right there is good as well. So those are kind of our three plays. Our audibles will be mesh flat spot, inside zone, wide trail, and PA bunch shot. You could also replace this with the RPO read bubble. That's going to be a solid play, RPO for us. Let's start out in the wide trail. All of these plays are going to be based on if your bunch is on the right side. Let me actually center that. And again, defensively, same thing that we've been facing. Now, we're going to start on the wide trail. Wide trail is a solid stock play. You have a drag, you have an angle route, you have a corner route, you have a post route, pretty similar to just a normal bunch trail out of the classic bunch. If you guys played Madden, you would know what I'm talking about. So what we like out of wide trail is just a simple first setup to flat Y and smart out X. Looks like this. A lot of just quick options. We're looking for either the post, the drag, or the flat with the running back, or the angle little trail route. So very good. It's designed to be kind of a quicker play. We're hoping he follows the post with his user and just forgets about the drag, but drag or angle route should really always be open. Boom. We're not looking for 20 yards on this play. We're looking for 5. And if you can get that, you would be happy. I do like to smart out X, although he's not best utilized in this play because the angle route kind of creates some chaos. So you see he just gets followed aggressively because no one else runs into the zone quick enough. So he's really good at just holding those zones up and opening up your drag route actually. So you want to use that, and you can also open up this trail route. So really he's going to have to pick between the drag or the trail. The post should pull up both zones. Let's go to a Tampa 2. Maybe he's a little bit more open against this. Flat route open as well, and then you still have the corner out over there. So I can still throw this. And again, you pick up 5-6 yards, you make a move, you can get 7-8 yards, right? Let's go back to the Tampa 2. And again, I mean, the post's still not really open there, but you have the drag, you have the angle, and then you have the flat or the corner out always open. Solid, just first snap setup. Second setup is going to be on a little speed out, and then what we're going to do is put Y kind of on an in route, and then we're just going to smart out X. So it's going to look kind of similar. Let me update my terminology because it's always wrong. But here's a look. Good spacing, concept. And again, kind of a similar looking setup, although it may be a little bit difficult for him to user. A lot of times they will see the out route and the corner out. They will go over to the right with their user. They'll forget about the running back out of the backfield. It's kind of a similarly looking route out of that corner strike play. But would be a decent man-to-man coverage beater as well. So let's say they are running cover 2. I'm perfectly okay throwing this route absolutely every play of the game. You're always going to have a flat route with those corner outs, and they will always usually be open and use them. So you do face man-to-man coverage, and we are facing man-to-man coverage here. We get our corner route open there deep. That is perfect. That's exactly what you want. You want him to kind of forget about that corner route, and then you can beat him over the top with it. Setup number 3, we're going to motion Y out actually. Let's create some 5 wide looks. What we're going to do here is drag Y, block A, and smart out X. Pretty basic looking setup. 2 drags, post, and a corner route. But sometimes these staple, this is probably should remind you of Y out of tight offset, tight end. If you played Madden 20, Madden 21, you will remember that play, Madden 19. A lot of people use that formation. It was very solid, so. But a very basic, not a good pass there. Would be more open against cover 2 if I'm not mistaken. But simple, this would be a good man-beating play. Cover 3 is probably where you want to avoid it. But 6-man protection, 2 drags and a post. And again, you can always smart out X, get him a little bit more shallow. The mid-read does play it well, but you can almost still fit it in. Again, pretend maybe that's his user. He probably jumps on one of those drags, and that's a little bit more opened up, right? So I'll show it one more time here. Let's run man-to-man coverage. And again, if you remember from the man-to-man coverage look, the corner out should be open too. And then you can, again, still smart out the post if you're able to, but 2 drags, both of them usually open, and then you have those routes over the top if he kind of sleeps or if you get enough time for those to develop a little bit better. Let's do something similar with our next setup, and what we're going to do is just motion him out again. Let's put him on an out route this time. Let's slant B, let's block A. So again, this is kind of another one of my tight offset tight end setups that I used to run back in the day. Little out route, slant concept. Really both of them almost open on that play. And then you still have your post and your corner route if you need. So this opens up the post a little bit better there with the slant and with the out route kind of pulling those zones to the left immediately. That's one of the reasons that I do like it. Let's run Tampa 2. Tampa 2, this is just an easy read for us. The slant wide open as well. So if he's running Tampa 2, one of those 2 guys will be open. And yeah, let's go into our last setup. We're going to post A, flat Y, hitch X. We're going to motion B across. And then what we're going to go ahead and do with B is put him just on a corner route. So it's going to look like this. Kind of an interesting looking setup. I like this against man, but spacing against zone is actually not bad as well. Opens up our tight end perfect. Our hitch really is open as well. And then you're going to have either the flat or the corner out on the opposite side open too. So again, choice X. Let's fix our terminology. It's just in this ebook, I always have like hitch because I'm so used to the hitch. So all my terminology says hitch or like flat, but it's always, it's speed out now instead. But boom, good looking setup, right? Thank you. I think so too. Again, this play also may be better from the other hash because maybe that corner out gets a little bit of space against cover 3, but against cover 2, you should be even better. Why are you running a slant? I don't know. Let's run a corner out instead. And then don't forget to post your tight end. So against cover 2, maybe he's a little bit more open there, but the flat definitely more open. Post coming across against both those, and then the hitch also sitting wide open. So good setup there. Let's hop into our next play, which is going to be the mesh flat spot. Now, what do I like out of the mesh flat spot? Just a lot of those drags. You have a deep corner out with that B wide receiver, and then you can also open up the flat route with the running back. So first setup, corner X, drag A, post RB. Now, A's already on a drag, but we want him on one that doesn't stop if it is zone coverage. Those little stock drag routes out of some mesh plays will always stop. It's like a choice route. If it's man, it will actually run the full drag, but if it's zone, you want to be aware. So here's a look. Again, if you got this open, just throw it every time. Every time you want to throw it. You want to start throwing this to the point where you're so worried about those drags that you will start to open up those posts over the top. Trust me. So again, post RB, drag A, corner X, and you can hike. So even then, there's kind of a window there, but pretend that he was using number 6, and then he comes down, and it would be absolutely wide open, right? So let's say you're facing cover 2. If he forgets, you can hit this guy over the top, and he can get open. I believe that the post route would be more open against cover 2 as well. Let's put it to the test. So drag is sitting open, post would be open in this little zone, although the vert hook is playing it, he's really not. Just test him. So drag you could hit, and then even on the right side, you have your flat, you have your corner out. The corner out probably comes across if you want it, maybe a little bit better. I don't actually know. Maybe, I guess smart routing wouldn't really do anything. He's breaking at 10 yards anyway. Whatever. So, yeah, next setup, we're going to motion over B. So let's motion him over. And then we're going to slant RB, put X on a out route. We're going to corner A, and then we're going to put B on a post. So it's going to look like this. Basically, it's eerily similar to the Y trail. We just have a flat route now instead, and the motion is in a little bit of a different place. I would have expected number 6 to actually fall down. If he does not fall down, then throw that post. It will be open. If he does fall, or if he does not fall down, throw the slant. Excuse me. Now B is already kind of stuck on a post too. You don't have to put him on that post. He's kind of running a post. Like if I hot route B, it's just a little bit shorter and maybe quicker breaking, so I actually probably would recommend doing it. Ignore what I said. But here's a look. So there was another bad read. The running back was open, but I don't love that setup. It's decent. Setup number 3, we're going to post a streak RB and snap the ball, drag corner, flat, post, streak. Kind of our bread and butter all match. Now, make sure you actually put X on the drag, because otherwise he does stop. Honestly, it's not the worst thing, him stopping there. So maybe I want to leave him on that, but that's what I was talking about earlier with the player stopping. It's honestly not a bad thing for spacing against zone, and then if it was man, he would just run his drag, so it's perfectly okay. Let's run Tampa 2. So again, you're posting X, streak RB. You see our running back is wide open. Hard for me not to just throw it to him. Freeform that to the outside, get a little good animation, and you can take your 6 yards and run. Boom. If it is man-to-man coverage, again, he should run a drag here. You have this B route. This B corner route can get open deep, hopefully for us here. Now, he gets clamped, I'm not going to lie. Hopefully your player's good enough to get separation on that. Clearly mine was not, but let's move into the next one. We got post A, streak RB. We're going to choice X. We're going to choice B. Got to update some terminology again. But trust me, the ebook will be in form by the time it's released. I always like quadruple check it, and if I catch something after, I will re-upload the better version. But good spacing in this play. Those choice to hitch combos are always money, because those guys will always, especially if you have the backside post, the hook roll is going to take the post. Any kind of a flat, cloud flat, curl flat will take the flat route, of course. It's in the name. And then you can just go to work. So again, post A, streak RB, choice X, and then choice B. These setups are always my favorite, because then you wait, boom, hit him over the top, and that is money. If it's cover 2, maybe they follow the post more, and you have your other player just sitting wide open. So boom, even more open. You see the cloud flat now comes down to defend the choice too, so we get even more rack on that setup. Last setup, what we're going to do, let's motion our Y player out again. We're going to actually corner X here. We're going to post B. We're going to drag RB. We're going to block A, and then we are going to drag. What do we do with Y? We're going to streak Y. Okay. So very good looking setup here. I like this setup kind of out of a tight doubles look, but simple spacing. X probably might have been the read there. We'll run it again. So you see X getting open. That's because he's kind of on the shorter side of the field, so he actually can work against cover 3. Let's go to a cover 2. Cover 2. Drag open. Honestly, the post comes across open as well. So good setup there. Now we got some of the run plays. Let's try this RPO read bubble. Now, you do kind of want to watch that guy because he played it well. I probably should have just handed the football off. Watch the P player, right? Because he's going to kind of defend it. I'm okay just handing the ball off here. You should generally get good blocks in the RPO, especially if he's on conservative with the quarterback and all that. And I think what you can do with this play too is if you want to keep it, you can use it as a read option, which can really get opened up as we take this one to the house. Called it. So that's actually really an underrated part, and sometimes I honestly will forget about it, but you do want to watch the R player, because if he's going to crash, then you can also, now that would have been an illegal man downfield, but I probably still could have outran him, but be careful, but it's good. You have a crack toss, I don't care to show that, but let's see how much time we're at. Let's go to the Bunch X Nasty. Now, what do we like out of the Bunch X Nasty? A lot of the same stuff. I do not have as many setups for this play, or this formation, because they took out some of my favorite setups that I had in other plays, but what we like is this deep flood, base, return whip trail, and QB sweep. So we got 2 runs here. I'll run the Bunch Str Nasty more, but you can also audible between these two ones because they, obviously it's just moving the running back. So, but I like the way Bunch Str Offset is better than Bunch Offset. Bunch Str Nasty is better than Bunch X Nasty in my opinion. But those are the audibles. Let's start out in Deep Flood. We got one setup for this Deep Flood play. Or actually, no, never mind. We got two. And then we got one for Return Whip Trail, which is going to be in the top there on the right side. And then we have a setup for this Drive Trail, which is going to be on your right-hand side as well. So let's start out in the Deep Flood on the left side there. I'm going to have my bunch on the right side again. Set up here, good quick snap. We'll streak B, we'll block Y. Boom, bread and butter. Now again, likely a little bit better. And what you can do to open it better up against cover 3 that I didn't even write down is you can just motion this guy out, and this should help it against cover 3. And it does, and you pass it, that's the outside, and it's perfect against cover 2. I would not motion him out, but if you can tell, like, single high safety, it's open, boom, we're doing that. So here we got Tampa 2. I'm just going to streak him normally. You'll see the flat route's probably going to be a lot more open here, but if we wait on it, then he gets open as well. We'll just fall down. So basic, simple combo, good quick snap setup. If you just want to quickly audible and then like run this play, most certainly can. Now let's say it's man-to-man coverage. Man-to-man coverage, you're hoping for the corner out or the deep in route. Whatever you can get your hands on. Here we get this deep in route. He's going to be wide open. Beautiful. We love that. We will take that. Setup number 2, we're going to streak B. We're going to drag X, flat Y, and post A. Does this ring a bell? This should look pretty familiar. Same setup, but we just have the running back on the opposite side, right? So hit this drag. You probably want to throw it a little bit earlier than I did. Again, what you can do with this play if you're facing cover 3 is you want to probably streak, or you want to probably motion out that streak. If it is Tampa 2, what you probably want to do is leave him tight. Now, because the drag comes early, you don't have any help over there, or because he's tighter than like the Bunch Str Ace Offset, he doesn't actually get his open, kind of unfortunately. So you would probably just want to hit him over there, boom, take our 4-5, move on. Man-to-man coverage, you have your corner out, you have your post, and then the drag, so it could also work against man as well. Voice is already shot. All right, next up we have our Return Whip Trail. Okay, I'm dumb. Let me just delete something real quick in this written version. For some reason I have this twice. Okay, so let's move into our next play, which is going to be the Return Whip Trail. Again, you will see it on the right hand side here. Apologies for that little hiccup, but for the Return Whip Trail we can have a little creative setup here. Let's drag A, let's zig B. You have a kind of a weird little return trail route. I don't like the stock motions out of this formation personally, unless they're going from like right to left, but even then we have those out of Y off trio close, we will use those. But anyways, then we're actually gonna put Y on a corner route. So we're gonna put a running back on a corner route. Just a cool little unique spacing play, good like man beaters, good these. Nice catch, buddy. But honestly, a pretty good quick snap setup. Usually should open up the tight end, give him a little bit more real estate. Maybe against cover 2, he sneaks open. Maybe this setup works a little bit better from the right hand hash as well, or the your bunch on the short hash, but the zig usually going to be open, and this is good man beater play as well, but usually you're going to get hit by that point. So what the running back does is he's really just like opening you up a little bit more. Now, I kind of was torn on this. Could I streak him too? You definitely could streak him, but then the number 6 kind of comes over. So it really just doesn't do much for you because you can't throw him early because then the tight end is kind of in the same area. So, but I like that first setup. Anyways, we got drive, halfback under. Of course, it's not my audibles, so we'll talk about that after. But let's go over the run plays. Base, pretty simple, halfback base, but obviously can be solid. I won't run this too often. If I'm ever running this formation, I'm usually passing. Spoiler alert, I like running out of those other formations a lot better, but if you can get blocks like this, it makes it a lot better to run the ball. As we're in this kind of, and I can't do shit. For some reason, there's this glitch where you get the fire over that guy's head and you like can't audible or snap. So I guess we will go over drive, halfback under now. Stupid. So drive, halfback under is on the right. It's good for this corner out with our solo side wide receiver. So let's just come out of Tampa 2. So X, he's going to be our bread and butter here. We like to flat Y, post A, streak RB. Does it ring a bell? It probably should. Now, if he's not going to follow, just hit your running back or hit B. I would have expected him to actually come down on that. He did not. Fair play to him, right? So again, just obviously just a solid setup. Back to our bread and butter. I'm going to either hit B or Y in this case every time. Let's go to cover 3, see if anything changes. And B is also on like kind of almost a speed out that's breaking inward, so he's not on a drag, but I honestly like his route a little bit better. So we get a good catch there, but you would have probably hit the running back or B. I don't know if the post was open. I'll double check here. Against man, not a bad play either. So post, not open either. So again, it looks like the routes just kind of open up your underneath routes, so use those. Last run, though, is the quarterback sweep. And this is interesting because it goes to the right. So if he is heavy stacked or it goes to the left. So if he's heavy stacked to the right, you can get this to work. Now, number 55, you need to learn Chinese. Buddy, that was an awful block. So in theory, I figured this would be a good red zone play. Maybe I'm just dumb like that. I don't. Can we motion this guy out? Maybe this helps. Maybe he just stock picks him up. Maybe the stupid D-line, like... So that does... Oh, okay. Maybe this play sucks. I'll try it out online. Maybe I'll get back to you guys, but geez, not looking great there. Alrighty, we got our last two formations here, which is going to be the Y-off trio close and then the Y-off trips nasty. Now, I do not have as many setups for these plays, but they are very good. If you guys want to see a gameplay on these formations, definitely let me know. So we're going to set up with our trips on the right. Let's set up our audibles. What I like out of here is going to be, I like the motion mesh rail. Or am I in the wrong set? Maybe I'm in the wrong. Oh yeah, I am in the wrong thing. Sorry. I like the motion mesh rail, and then I like basic inside zone. And then we have flood, and then let's get smash return in here. So we're going to start out with the motion mesh rail. I think this is definitely the best play on the left there. Now, what's good about this play is the stock motion. So what we want to do on this first setup is try and kind of open up our wheel route a little bit more. We're going to speed out R1, drag A, and then just post X. So again, a lot of the same stuff, but just out of different places. Makes it a little bit more confusing. This motion is going to add a fold to that, but it's really just going to create kind of a tight doubles look. So first read, you can just definitely hit him. We'll try and use that motion to open him up a little bit later. But again, speed out RB, drag A, post X, and then you can snap it. So you can kind of get it off decently quick. Shouldn't worry about time there, but X, he's coming across, he's open. Now the wheel route is interesting. It should be decently open for us here. I love this glitch so much. So honestly, he's kind of covered here. I think he might get more open against other formation or other plays. Like if we try cover 2 here, we should probably get a little bit more open. The spacing is just a little bit odd. Maybe it doesn't work as well as I thought, but I do believe he gets open against something. Regardless, let's move into setup number 2. We're gonna speed out B. Let's drag X, let's drag A, and then let's post R1. So here we have the wheel route. He should be better spacing, I believe. So now he should get open. So that's kind of what you want. Maybe that first setup, you could just put him on a flat if you really wanted to as well. But you don't have to use the motion, which is nice. I can just hot route out of it. So drag A, drag X. Both those guys should be sitting open. The wheel route you saw gets open, and then R1. I don't know if he just pulls up the zones or gets open himself. Looks like he just kind of pulls up the zones, at least against cover 3. We'll try it against cover 2. And I believe the wheel should still get open against cover 2. But boom, drag route's open. Look at the speed out on the right. That's wide open. Backside drag is open. So just good spacing plays. Next setup is going to be corner RB, streak X, drag A, Texas Y. Here's the look. Now this is a good setup against cover 2 specifically because it should open up B deep down the field. Now maybe I want to be on the other hash mark. I'll try it out there and kind of see, but you can see there, boom, even on the left hash mark more so, it gets open. It would be even better if you were on the right, obviously, but the streak is the most important thing with X there. And then again, RB is just kind of a throwaway route. We corner him. If it's man-to-man coverage, could he get open? Of course he could. But X is very important to hold the safety over. Here it is against cover 3. Obviously, not much doing there, but you have these routes that can get open. And then honestly, you could potentially hit the seam route in the middle. Maybe. I'll show it one more time against cover 2. And sometimes against man, those guys will kind of get open on this stock motion. Let's try it out. So let's X streak, and X could get a nice little break here too. We'll put it to the test. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. So a little bit. It's a nice play. Fourth setup, deep cross RB, drag A, drag X, block Y. Kind of our dagger look. We're looking to actually hit the crosser in the middle of the field here. We're not trying to hit it on the sideline. We're trying to like hit it right there. And that little stock motion does make the zones pull up a lot more than they normally would. Let's run it one more time here. Deep cross RB, drag A, drag X, block Y. You have your stock motion. This is against cover 2. And boom, splits the zones perfectly. Those vert hooks are absolutely sitting back. The mid read never defends anything unless it's like a deep streak in the middle or maybe a deep post. So that's good. Let's block A, drag X, flat Y, corner B, post RB. Does this ring a bell? It looks pretty similar to kind of our earlier setups. This gives us a nice 6-man protection base look. Could I drag A as well? I definitely could, but nice little look in the middle there. Backside drag, and then you have the corner flat if it is like a cover 2. So boom. You can hit him over the top. Now that was not a good throw, and you probably would have hit the flat there, but overall it does work. Now our next play is going to be smash return. We only have one setup for this play. Now out of smash return, you're going to deep cross R1, streak X, flat Y. It's going to be interesting. You have this nice little return route. This is kind of a similar our dagger setup, if you will, out of this formation. So drag, and then if you get enough time, the crosser should get open, but you see B was kind of wide open in that position as well. So boom. And then you can hit him over the top right there. So solid. Let's try and hit this little crosser or a return route. Boom, you can hit him in that window. Flat could be open if he's just playing over the top, but the flat helps with opening up that return. And then we got flood. One setup for flood. Just one moment. So flood, what we're going to do is just simply streak B. Good little quick snap setup. I wish X was on the normal in route. You could recreate that if you want, but we kind of want to use it as a quick snap setup. So love the little tight end zig. Solid, just man beater. Gets open. And then you're blocking the running back. Get some extra protection. I'm in the wrong play. So if it is cover 3, or if it, let's say we run cover 2. he gets wide open because those zones are just so pulled up and they're not like aware of the zig route until he actually gets open. So love that. As far as run plays go, we have just the basic inside zone here to use. It's okay, but I really just like this play for the motion mesh rail. You have a few other plays that you can run, but again, I could definitely create a video on just this formation. If you guys would want to see that, let me know in the comments, because we could create a lot more plays and setups with this, and I could even show it in the gameplay too. But solid stuff. Let's hop into our last formation of the video. I know it's long. We got the gun Y off trips nasty. Now, out of the gun Y off trips nasty, we have some good RPOs, a few decent passing plays. So the RPO that everybody knows is the RPO read Y flat, very, very good. And then I like the PA double post, I like the slot 2 buck, and then I like the dagger whip. So we have two setups for PA double post, one for slot 2 buck, one for dagger whip. And then the RPO is what we run a lot, so we're going over that. Let's go over the PA double post, which is going to take place on the right side there. It's also in the Y off trips normal, instead of the Y off trips nasty as well. So for this setup, what I like is flat Y. I'm going to put RB on a choice. I'm going to put X on a corner route. And then I'm going to drag A. Forgot to add that. Let's add that. So it's going to look like this. Immediately, choice route solid as a rock there. Basic tight end corner route. Oh, God, I hate this glitch. So there you can see the post route getting open. Love those backside posts. I told you we'd go back to them, and this is more so where we do go back to them. Boom, can hit this guy as well. So very good setup. I like that setup a lot. You really only need a few good setups for mixing between this RPO read Y flat, but next setup would be streak X, drag RB, deep cross A, flat Y. So here we're going to create, again, similar dagger. This is a good kind of flood concept. Now, both these guys run into each other. That really shouldn't normally happen. I think this is going to be a little bit better against cover 3 than it would cover 2. So let's try and set that up. Yeah, you can hit him in this window. Boom, perfect. So, solid setup. Now let's go to the slot 2 buck. What I like out of this is to streak RB, post A, drag A, flat Y, and then I'm going to actually motion R1 over. So the setup is going to look like this. This is a solid look to open up the corner out against cover 3, cover 2. This is, again, similar to one of those tight looks we had, but probably better against cover 3 than cover 2 because he gets pressed so far inside that it doesn't really get open. I don't know why. Oh, I'm in the wrong play. Whatever. It basically looks like this, right? So you could hot route the setup, but you want to hit this corner out here. Boom. Perfect. Drag. Backside post should be kind of open as well. Last setup is going to be dagger whip. What we can do here is comeback B, Texas Y, corner X. It's going to look like this. Looking for kind of our zig. I also probably put RB on a zig, get him a little bit shorter. Looking for the angle or the zig mainly. If it's man coverage, corner out could get open deep too. So basically we're just trying to hit either the zig or the corner, or the zig or the Texas route. Just a good like quick snap. I like this play for the red zone too. The zig should be open late with the comeback route as well. X is already on a corner out, but I like this one just a little bit better. So you can even hit him there. Boom, he should catch it. So solid play. Let's hop into our last and final RPO, which is going to be the read Y flat. Very solid. And you can see why there. This tight end is slow, but he gets so many yards. So that's what I'm saying when you know this RPO is that good. You don't really need that many good passes to go with it. And this is in the Y off trips too. If I wanted to audible, we could run it out of the Y off trips. It really doesn't make a difference. I like that B receiver a little bit tighter personally. but you can also keep it with the QB here too, which is probably more for red zone, short yardage. If need be, I would have still hit the flat there because he's just wide open on every play. Very broken, glitched play. Use it to your advantage, but that's going to do it for the video. If you guys did enjoy, just hit that like button, subscribe to the channel down below. I probably will do a UCLA one next, but also let me know what other ones you guys want to see. Penn State has been on my mind, but that's going to do it. Peace. I'm out of here.